Once again, good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us. I'm Mayor Dana Red here in the city of Camden, and I'm delighted to stand along with our Council President, Frank Moran, our Superintendent, Mr. Paymon Rahonaford, members of our advisory board for the school district, and I'd like to just briefly acknowledge the members that are here with us this afternoon, starting with the advisory board president, Ms. Catherine Blackshear. Yes, please put up a round of applause. Our vice president, Ms. Martha Wilson. Minister Wasim Muhammad. Board member, Ms. Teresa Atwood. Member, Ms. Dorothy A. Burley. And board member, Ms. Felicia Reyes Morton. We are also pleased to be joined by members of the Congress of Resident and Faith-Based Organizations, residents that work along with us throughout the city of Camden to ensure that we move our programs and goals forward, and they stand in partnership with all that we endeavor to do in the city of Camden. And while we're waiting for them to adjust the sound, technical difficulties, I also want you to join me in giving a round of applause to our parents and grandparents who are parent advocates for our children. Without having strong parents and grandparents as advocates for our children, we would not have strong collaborations, and so we're grateful that they are standing with us to improve educational outcomes in the city of Camden. So again, I'm pleased to be joined by our Council President, Frank Moran, and our Superintendent, our electeds, and our advisory board members, Congress of the Resident of Faith-Based and Community-Based Organizations, our parents and grandparents, and I also like to acknowledge a few additional dignitaries that have come to join us, our Assemblyman Angel Fuentes and Assemblyman Dilbert Wilson, and our president of the Camden Education Association, Mr. Farmer. Thank you for being here. Again, each of the individuals that have been acknowledged have been incredible and dynamic partners on this journey of reforming education in the city of Camden for our children, youth, and families. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued collaboration and your support as we strive to move Camden forward and to make Camden the city invincible that we all believe in. And although this individual is not with us today, I would like to acknowledge the support and all of the efforts of our Governor, Chris Christie, and the State Department of Education. Their strong collaboration and partnership has allowed us to do some wonderful things along the lines of public safety, along the lines of economic development, and certainly why we are all here today for our children and parents and grandparents within the city. Working together with the governor and with all of our stakeholders here and those that are not able to join us today, we have compiled an impressive track record, again, from public safety to economic development to financial stability. And mark my words, education reform has always been a #1 priority, not just for myself, but certainly for all of you who see the importance of education as unlocking the doors of opportunity to the future and also overcoming poverty. How important this issue is to not just generation, but to generations that are to come. This is a priority for myself, for our governor, for our superintendent of schools, our city council president, and everyone, because we believe in great neighborhood schools and that great neighborhood public schools is the basic right of every child in this state. You can applaud, yes. Just to take a moment to reflect back, I just want to contextualize how we've gotten to this point in time. Since the state intervention was first announced approximately 2 years ago today, we made a commitment and a promise to collaborate in partnership with anyone who is serious about bringing in real reforms that would improve the quality of education for our Camden children. We promise to work with our board members, to work with our teachers, to work with our community leaders, and most importantly, we promise to work with the families to ensure that their concerns were not only heard, but that they would not be ignored. And let's face it, for far too long, our Camden children and their families have been shortchanged in receiving a quality education that they rightfully deserve. And for far too long, many have made promises to make bold and necessary decisions that would right the ship. Unfortunately, they were nothing more than empty promises, and that's why we are here today. We understood in the importance of building partnerships as being critical to taking the necessary steps forward, that not one person alone or organization could tackle the enormous issues of education if we were serious about really improving the attainment levels of our children and our families in the city of Camden. We understood that partnership was key. And I really want to emphasize the following statement because it is really important about why we are here today. It is not about us as individuals, those of us who are seated here at the head tables facing out. It is not about doing what's right for the mayor or doing what's right for the council president, the governor, or the superintendent. It is about doing what is right for the children of Camden and the families. It has been during the past few weeks that I, along with our superintendent, his staff, and our council president, that we met with parents throughout the city to listen to their concerns, to also discuss the district's plans and what those plans look like in order to improve the performance of our district and enhance the children's experience, those that are enrolled in our public schools and in our Renaissance schools. And we're looking at today 5 of the lowest performing schools within our district here in the city of Camden. What we wanted to express to our parents and our grandparents and community stakeholders was that we understood their frustrations and that we were willing to not only seek real solutions, but to make them part of the solutions in order to put an end to the years of our children being provided an inadequate education that does not provide them or prepare them for their future. We wanted our parents to also know that we wanted, at this point in time, to provide options and choices that they could make for their children as parent advocates, as grandparent advocates, wanting the best for their children and their offspring. So from traditional public schools to Renaissance schools, we wanted our parents and grandparents to know that yes, their child and or grandchildren deserved a high-quality education, as well as neighborhood schools that serve as the centers of the community of our neighborhoods throughout the city of Camden, and that yes, they are not locked into one option, they have choices. So I think the superintendent and our council president and our parents will agree that we have had great conversations and we've took back plenty of feedback. And it is to this end that I really have to applaud the superintendent for being a good listener to our Camden residents, to our educators, and our community stakeholders, because a sign of a good leader is one that listens. Not only has our superintendent listened to the concerns, to the dreams and the aspirations of our families here in Camden, and particularly our children, he's also acted decisively to give our families the opportunity for the great education that they rightfully deserve. And so, again, being here today is a game changer. It is an important moment in time for all of us in this room, and it is incumbent upon us as community leaders, educators, stakeholders, parents, grandparents, and all who care about our children and youth in this city to continue to collaborate so that our young people are afforded a high-quality education. And if I could just quote Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan, who said, "Education is a human right with immense power to transform." That is what this is about today, and that is why we are standing. So as I bring my opening remarks to a close, before I introduce our next speaker, I want to thank you personally for believing in our city, and more importantly, for believing in our children, youth, and families who make this city a great place. And I say that straight from the heart. Because you believe, they believe, and I can tell you, I believe in each and every one of you and our children. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, a person who has been by my side making tough decisions for tough times. He is an individual who is very passionate about our community, our home, the city of Camden. Please welcome Council President Frank Moran.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's have another wonderful round of applause for our great mayor. Certainly an honor and a pleasure to be with you all this afternoon, and good afternoon to all. Madam Mayor, Superintendent, board members, parents, clergy, grandparents, teachers, administrators, my colleagues. I'm joined here by an awesome group of council people that truly have the best of the community at heart, and I want to recognize you all. And we have Dr. Luis Lopez, who's councilman of Ward 4, who's here with us this afternoon. We have a basketball legend from Camden High School, we call 6A, Councilman at Large Arthur Barkley. We have Councilwoman of the First Ward, who is also the clerk of the General Assembly in the state of New Jersey, Dana Burley. And we have an individual that we literally see eye to eye, Councilman from Ward 2, Brian Coleman. Please stand, Brian. Not with us today is my Council Vice President, Curtis Jenkins, and also Councilwoman at Large, Marilyn Torres, who had an appointment. But it's truly, once again, an honor for me to be here and represent this wonderful governing body, but more importantly, represent the city of Camden, a city which I was born in Cooper Hospital, product of the public school system, reside here my whole entire life, and have seen many, many changes in this great city. And today, for me, it's a joyous day, and it should be for all here today, because we're finally bringing opportunity and choice for our children. You know, they are a prized possession, and if we don't give them the opportunity that they're due, then we're failing as leaders. So I can tell you that the last year has been a year of tough decisions, hard work, but more importantly, dedication to the future of this city and the renaissance of the city. And that's working collectively with a wonderful superintendent, president of the board, and all of you, as I stated earlier, because no one person is going to bring real change to the city. So I'm excited that today the announcement will be that our children are going to be given another opportunity, an option to succeed in life. Because we don't only want them to be the leaders of this community, we want them to be competitive in the state, in the country, and globally. We have a lot of success stories in this city. And if I were to start, I'd be here all day, because we know that we have wonderful, wonderful roots in this city. So if I can ask one thing before I conclude is, work with us. No one person has a silver bullet, but yes, all of us collectively can bring real change to the city of Camden and to the rebirth that we're all experiencing. And I want to say this about our fearless leader, our mayor, Dana Red. Let me tell you, this young lady who I've known practically my whole adult life is the right person. And let me tell you, the decisions that are being made with the mayor and council are for the betterment of this city. And you're seeing the corporations that would have even imagined coming to the city or back into the city. It's what we need. But let me tell you what we constantly talk about behind closed doors is those individuals that are in the community that have been here in the struggle, and change and help is coming for you as well. So please, be patient and work with us. So once again, I thank you for giving me this opportunity, and it's a great honor for me to present the next speaker. And it's personal to me because I've watched this young lady grow into a wonderful, wonderful wife, mother, leader, in school, just does everything. And she's truly testament to the successes that we see in the city when you nurture these young folks in the city. And that is Felicia Reyes Morgan. Come on up, Felicia.
Well, that is a little embarrassing, but good afternoon, and thank you to everyone for coming out today. My name is Felicia Reyes Morton, and I'm a proud alum and proud parent of a Camden City Scholar. My child, thank you. My child is loving education, and the challenges presented each day, and as a parent, I have become empowered to assist her along this journey. When I was first asked to become a member of this board, there was a sense of excitement that I could hardly contain within me, and today I am proud to say that that excitement still exists. For as a city, as an education institution, as leaders, and as residents, we stand at the cusp of a fantastic opportunity to not only transform what a Camden City education means, but how it is assessed, delivered, and ultimately the outcomes our families can expect. I can recall standing here not too long ago with these same group of individuals when the governor was announcing the decision to intervene on behalf of the children and families of Camden, to message that a new day must dawn to meet the challenges of this century, to make it once again about the children and not the problems adults had created. And as a board, we have responded. As a district, we have responded. And as a city, we have responded. This board, on which I have the great pleasure of serving on, has not only provided me the ability to learn and understand the in and outs of a $300 million budget, but in my time on the board, professionalism and capacity are the order of the day. And it has become clear that what we are discussing today is correcting a system that is unequitable in the way in which education is delivered to children, and today this board says no more. Our children deserve better, and the time to pay lip service to that fact is over. Today we stand committed to ensuring that the future greatness of this city is restored by fulfilling the obligations given to us by the very nature of service. Today this district will take steps to place our children on a playing field that is no longer uneven, no longer stacked against us, no longer seek to blame children for the misdeeds or uncompleted work of adults. On this day, we place children first and say, let the rebirth of Camden start now, and let the children be the leaders of that new day. Yes. Today, this city and our leaders have taken steps to ensure that the fears that have driven parents to flee, seek shelter, or hope beyond hope for something as simple as a safe, happy child becomes the norm. Through partnerships such as the National Youth Violence Prevention Forum under the watchful eyes of Minister Wasim Muhammad, the violence that has plagued the insides and outsides of our schools is on the retreat, and together we will claim this victory. Make no mistake, we are the Camden City Board of Education, and under our banner, under our watch, under our educational responsibilities lay all families that call Camden home. Our system is fortunate to have within it traditional public education, private parochial providers, charter schools, and Renaissance partners, and now our families will have access and, more importantly, choice when it comes to choosing the right Camden educational opportunity for their family. For those children today, we say the dreams are a reality, and let tomorrow begin right now. Thank you. I have this great pleasure and honor of introducing a parent that lives here in the North Camden community, and that will speak on behalf of her own struggles, but who is an extraordinary leader, not only for her family, but for the North Camden community as well, and has had the pleasure of being involved with Superintendent Paymon and addressing some concerns and the future success of the district. And so I'm proud to announce Alicia Rivera.
Hi, how are you? My name is Alicia Rivera. I'm going to tell you guys a little story about myself and my daughter. Please bear with me, I'm kind of nervous, okay? Well, I'm Alicia Rivera. I have a daughter she's in 6th grade. She's in East Camden Middle. East Camden Middle is her 8th school in this district, okay? My daughter is Down syndrome, okay? And the district has not served her well. My daughter wants to be a photographer, and I believe that she can achieve her dreams, just like any other student, with the proper support from her school. I've been searching for some better to attend the series of neighborhood meetings early this month, and I learned about the Renaissance schools, in the hope that my child would have same experience as others without special needs. There are most students and the years excited about the next year, but we're just left to fear. Because the options of her to share her experience didn't exist for us. I like to, as a part of a Renaissance school, they serve the students, including my child, with special needs. I like that as a parent, the right to express the school in my neighborhood. To serve the student is real. I like that for the first time in my life, a new school will be built. No student, not just those unfortunate enough to win a lottery. Wow, I didn't finish 10th grade. I'm proud to say my oldest daughter has recently obtained her bachelor's degree from Chestnut Hill. Her sister is current in Camden County College in her first year. And I want that for my youngest child as well. Okay? I feel more hopeful than I have in the past years. I would like to say thank you to the superintendent, because he went to my house in the fall when he was going door to door he spoke to me and I spoke to him. No one before him did that. Nobody did that but you, and I thank you for that. Okay? I spoke to you, you took that, and you answered my prayers. Okay? In closing, I would like to say that today I am here, not just as a parent, but to the parents that couldn't attend, the parents who feel empowered. Not all parents have informed, so it is that I use my story to ensure and challenge happens for everyone, just not for Taina, but to every child that are in special need. I would like to leave you with something that happened to her. She was bullied, and this letter is an apology from the child that bullied her, saying, "I'm sorry. This I do not want for her. This is why we want the Renaissance. This is why we want him and everybody that's doing this to help our children, to have better schools for them, especially for the special needs children, just like my Taina." Thank you. And now, I would like to introduce you to the superintendent.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes. So many people to thank. I want to begin with the mayor and our city council president. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank our advisory board members, city council, and our state assembly reps. I want to thank Robert Farmer, our president of the CEA. He's been a tremendous partner over the last 18 months. We've had to make difficult decisions, and he's been a true partner, standing up there with us, trying to find solutions. And I especially want to thank all the parents, the ones that are standing behind me, the alumni that are here, and the parents who are in the audience, for everything you do day in and day out. Parents of students in district schools and Renaissance schools, thank you all. Today is the next and latest part of our ongoing conversation. It's not a beginning, it's not an end today. This conversation started 18 months ago with a 100-day listening tour, and most recently we went around the city and talked about school performance and where our schools are struggling the most. To date, since I was appointed a year and a half ago, we've held over 45 community town halls and neighborhood meetings, and we take that responsibility to be accessible and to be transparent very seriously. I want to thank all the educators, because we have seen some progress in our schools, and I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the hard work that all of our school leaders and educators are putting in and day out. Some of you all may have heard the stories I've told of visiting Ms. Emily Voster's classroom, a first grade teacher at Wiggins School, one of the most remarkable teachers I've ever seen in action. We have more students in pre-K than ever before, and we're providing better support to principals and teachers than we have before. But these changes are not sufficiently improving all of our schools. In spite of those signs of progress, we still have schools where fewer than 10% of our kids are on grade level in reading and math. We still have school buildings that were constructed before the time women could vote. We still have schools that serve less than a quarter of the students they once used to. For those students who attend those struggling schools, there isn't time to wait. Our students don't have forever for their schools to improve. Our students, these parents' children, only get one shot at their education. The message that I've heard loud and clear from these parents and hundreds more is that Camden's kids can't wait longer, and the opportunity to attend a safe, successful public neighborhood school in a modern facility is a basic and civil right, and that is what we are here to discuss. I absolutely, unequivocally believe in our students. Some people say that our students are going to struggle because they're immigrants and English language learners. Well, you know what? So am I. Some people are going to tell you that our students are struggling because their families require government assistance. So did mine. Let me be very clear. No excuses can deny the brilliance of our children. The greatness of our schools must match the greatness of our kids. What we are here announcing today is a plan to revitalize our most struggling schools. Rather than give up on them, we are reinvesting in those schools. Rather than scattering and displacing kids, we are asking our students and families to stay and let us prove that they can get an excellent education in a public neighborhood school. For next school year, the school district will partner with 3 of the most successful nonprofit organizations in the country, KIPP, Mastery, and Uncommon, to lead 5 of our most struggling neighborhood schools in dilapidated buildings. Let me tell you a little bit about each of these partners. Mastery Schools of Camden leads elementary grades in North Camden and Kramer Hill and has a new building planned for East Camden. KIPP leads a kindergarten in Landing Square and is constructing a beautiful new facility on Broadway. Uncommon Schools Camden Prep leads a kindergarten at Whitman Park and will construct a new building for that community soon. Through this partnership, we're building some real signs of progress. At KIPP Cooper Norcross, students have improved over 15% in reading and 25% in math. At Mastery Schools of Camden, students have achieved more than a year worth of reading growth in just 6 months. And at Camden Prep, nearly all of the incoming students, 97%, arrived below grade level, and today nearly 75% are at grade level or higher in reading and math. These gains represent the dramatic improvements we know are possible by expanding Renaissance schools here in Camden. More class time, better school support, and more opportunities for teacher development clearly make a difference. We must give more of our children that same opportunity. So today we are bringing this extraordinary approach to educating our children to 5 of our schools that have struggled for too long: Bonsall, East Camden Middle, McGraw, Molina, and Whittier. Through this partnership, these nonprofit organizations will modernize and renovate outdated school buildings that have a lot of great history. They will bring in new leadership teams, and they will serve all students in those neighborhoods. So here's what these changes will mean. All children attending these 5 schools can stay in their school community. All children will continue to attend school in their building as it is renovated, or they will attend a brand new school building. All students in these communities are guaranteed a seat. So, no lottery, no selective admissions. The same school, the same school names, the same students, a new leadership team, more modern school facilities. That is what we are delivering. Information about these partnerships is listed in the materials that we handed out as you're walking in, but I'll talk a little bit more at a high level. Bonsall has lost more than 20% of its students since just 2011. Camden Prep will come in, bring in a new leadership team, and significantly renovate that building. They will serve grades K to 4, while Bonsall will remain serving grades 5 through 8. For the next 3 schools, Mastery will bring in a new leadership team and significantly renovate each building. At East Camden Middle, some of you all may know this, but East Camden Middle used to serve close to 1,000 students. In 1997, they had about 900 students, and today they have 214. That school will remain a 6 to 8, but we will revitalize it through the renovations, through a new leadership team. At McGraw Elementary School, right next door, the school's performance has decreased in science, math, reading, and writing, and parents, just like they have at East Camden Middle, are choosing to go elsewhere. That school will remain a K-5. All students will have the right to stay, and we will revitalize that school as well. At Molina Elementary, Molina, their annex, one of the oldest buildings, the oldest building in the entire district, constructed in 1904. Unfortunately today at Molina, just 7% of their students are on grade level in reading and math. Mastery schools, through our partnership, will eventually get rid of the annex, build onto the original building, revitalize that school. And at Whittier School. Whittier is the second oldest school building in the district. Built in 1910, the front steps are unsafe and wrapped in caution tape. That building will be retired. And all students will attend school in the brand new Kip Cooper Norcross Academy in Lanning Square. Grades K-1 and 5 to 8 will have a guaranteed seat at Kip Elementary or the middle school grades, and grades 2 through 4 will remain with Whittier teachers and staff, but also located in that new building. Whittier families, when you look at where they actually live, the majority of them live in the Lanning Square community, closer to this brand new facility that we will be offering all of the students at Whittier. Let me say this. Change is not easy. These decisions have come about through a long, long process of listening and learning and assessing. Today in Camden, 1 out of 3 residents is under the age of 18. By 2019, 60% of all new jobs in this country will require either post-secondary education or some post-secondary training. Our students literally represent the future of this city. These decisions today will transform our school district and provide the opportunity for students to compete with their peers in college and in careers. These decisions today will ensure that Camden becomes the thriving city we know it can be. So let me also say, this is not a one-size-fits-all strategy. Each of our schools in Camden requires a unique approach for improvement, and Renaissance may not be the answer for each of them. We are working night and day to improve conditions at our schools, not just these 5. We have an improvement plan at each of our district schools that will continue to support all of our students and staff with even greater intensity. Also, with these decisions, I do want to make clear that we follow through with a number of the goals and promises in the Camden Commitment, our strategic plan. You can go back and look at it. The plan that we released over a year ago made clear a number of goals that we are achieving here today, one of which was to significantly transform at least 3 of our schools, and today we are announcing 5.
Yes.
We've pursued these changes thoughtfully with community members' feedback. As I hope you've all heard, we take listening seriously. We take our responsibility as government officials seriously to respond to the needs of the city. We're not knocking down school buildings, we're actually building them up. We're not sending kids elsewhere, we're asking them to stay. We're not eliminating neighborhood schools, we're revitalizing them. And outreach to families begins immediately. It will begin right after this press conference, as I'm going to go to one of the impacted schools, and that outreach will increase over the coming days. Every impacted student and family will receive individualized outreach through either a phone call or a home visit from someone on our team. Families can call 856-966-2000, extension 38577. We'll have that information handy for those that need it. And we also have an email address, familyinfo@k12.nj.us. Again, that's familyinfo@camden.k12.nj.us. Let me just close by saying this. This marks a new beginning for 5 of Camden's most struggling schools. We hope this will be remembered as the moment we turned the corner here in this school district and gave our children a better chance at a brighter future. Thank you all very much. Thank you all for being here. So, thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. I'd be happy to take a handful of questions in the interest of time, because I've got to run out and talk to some of our parents and staff members. Would open it up to the press, just a handful of questions. I'd be happy to take 4 to 5. We'll try to stick around some of our staff members to respond to other questions and concerns. Allison. I would say that the news is being well received by the community. Our administrators and staff have so far received it with a great deal of professionalism. And again, I wouldn't say this is a surprise. We made very clear in our strategic plan a long time ago that we needed to make these decisions to significantly improve quality of education here in Camden. Sorry, Jim, I can't hear you. Could you speak up a little bit? So the question was, what happens to the staff of the impacted schools? It's a good question. So all of our district staff will retain their seniority rights. To the extent they are interested in working for one of our Renaissance School partners and would like to interview, they are guaranteed an interview with our partners. So there will be a fair process conducted. So all the kids in Whittier will have the right to attend the new Kip Cooper Norcross building. KIPP will operate grades K1 and 5 through 8. The district staff, some of the district staff from the Whittier School will move over to serve grades 2 through 4. So there will be a K to 8. All grade levels will be provided in that building. There will also be pre-K. So pre-K to 8 will be provided. It just so happens that 3 of the grade levels, 2, 3, and 4, will be operated by the district. And just like you see at Pine Point, we expect there to be, so it's a co-location like at Pine Point with Master and Pine Point, we expect there to be strong collaboration amongst the staff. And we've seen some great signs of that in that building, where the staff regularly meet and exchange ideas and best practices, and the 2 principals are regularly communicating. And so at the KIPP building, you'll actually have 3 principals working together, and there will be, the emphasis will be placed on collaboration there. Jim. We're going to take a wait-and-see approach. These are decisions we're making for next school year. We haven't thought beyond that. We are certainly hopeful and optimistic that these schools will be successful, and to the extent parents are continuing to demand them, we will evaluate the following year. But as I mentioned, we are a school district of many school types, and you heard that in Board Member Reyes-Morton's comments as well. We have a number of different school types, and it's important to us to continue to have a diversity of school types. Thank you all. Take care.